get empowered by this program. A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in hot water. With full of joyous, let's commence this program with a welcome address which will be delivered by Miss Mahinda of First MBA. Now let me invite her to give welcome address. Over to Mahinda.
Anything is possible when you have the right people there to support you. Happy wonderful day to all. Today, motivation talk on entrepreneurship opportunities for women. Strong women are the ones you see building each other up, not other tearing other down. Our desire is to extend a gracious and inclusive to all my buddies gathered here. Always go with the choice that scares you the most because that's the one that is going to require the most from you. Now I am generously over enjoyed to take the opportunity to welcome our chief guest Niyatii Shah, council member, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry at Mumbai. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this warm welcome. And I am very honored to be on this platform. A big thank you to all of you.
If your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, and become more, you are a leader. My wholehearted welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. N. Ramesh Babu sir at MKCE, the person who guides and creates different platforms to move on life. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the welcome.
Everything should be as simple as possible but not similar. My enthusiastic welcome to all our HODs of various departments of MKC as the art and creativity as the motivator of many students. We welcome you, sir and ma'am.
Thank you once again.
Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overall and looks like work. I welcome all of our faculty members who would bless buds to blossom. Success on your own terms, achieve it by your own rules and build a life you are proud to live. A great to our faculty coordinator P. Vanitha, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thanks, Ma.
I am very glad and proud to welcome all of my MKC girls into this wonderful program. Thank you. Over to Shugashni.
Thank you, Mahinda. Women are the real architects of society. A successful person are not born, they are made. We welcome our Honorable Principal, Dr. N. Ramesh Babu Sir of MKCE, who is the creator of many successful person, to deliver the presidential address. Over to Principal Sir.
Thank you. And on behalf of M. Kumarasamy College of Engineering, Karur, uh, it's my privilege to welcome Ms. Niyatii Shah, Council Member of Indian Chamber for Commerce, who has consented to motivate young women as well as the faculty members on the topic of entrepreneurship opportunities for women. Really, it's a proud moment to host this kind of event in the month of March, where Women's Day was celebrated across the globe. And as a continuing part of March 8th, we are doing it for all the Saturdays of March. Uh, I just really appreciate and thank the Department of Management to come forward and organize these kind of events. Though we are connected virtually, and not being in person. But this COVID situation, rather than taking it the negative sense, creating this kind of opportunities, connecting with the experts in their respective domains, and then motivating the younger minds, it's a need of the hour. And probably more than 100 students have participated through this Google Meet, as well as many of our students were there online with respect to YouTube. And probably I just request all the participants over here kindly be interactive with Ms. Niyatii Shah, who has a vast experience in motivating this kind of events. I just saw the profile of Ms. Niyatii, and probably this was roughly around 55 plus similar kind of event. She was doing it for the last a decade of time. And I really welcome once again Niyatii Shah for this event, and kindly share your views and thoughts for all the women children over here. Thank you, and over to the organization.
Thank you so much, sir. There is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise. It's time to know about a successful women on a stage. Let's invite Miss Soumya of First MBA to end our eagerness to know about guest by chief guest introduction. Over to Soumya.
Every thought you produce, anything you say, any action you do it bears your signature. Happy morning, everyone. It is indeed a happy morning, all soaked in the delighted frame of mind. This morning, I have the pleasure of introducing to you an amazing woman, our guest Niyatii Shah, Council Member, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mumbai. She is an enthusiastic, passionate, and renowned sexuality educator, counselor, author, and an intimacy coach who believes in educating children and adults on sex education so they know themselves, empowering them so they can take informed decisions, and eradicating the hesitation and taboo around sexuality. She is a mother of two children, wife of a very supportive husband, and daughter of liberal and very loving parents. She is a sexuality educator, counselor, and author of two books and a TEDx speaker. In the past 10 years of her career, she has been fortunate to have visited 55 plus schools, conducted 350 plus workshops, touched 18,000 plus families, empowered 55,000 plus children. She helps parents and teachers talk about sexuality to their children without feeling awkward and without any prior knowledge, with easy through her online course and books. She is certified in sex education, the Robert Karkoff model of personal counseling, metaphor therapy, graphology, basic transactional analysis, and international train the trainer. Niyatii is a music lover and a dance enthusiast. She finds peace in gardening and finds her creative self in everything she does. And I'm so honored and thrilled to have such an incredible woman among us, and I'm sure you are feeling the same too. Thank you. Over to Sugashini.
Thank you, Soumya. A successful person don't wait for the opportunity. They create it. A successful woman create her own world on this wonderful day. To make this program more glorious, we have a valued guest here, Niyatii Shah, Council Member, Women's India Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mumbai. I invite her to facilitate the gathering, please, ma'am.
All right, and it's my time. Thank you so much. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for the elaborate and the warm welcome that I have received from the authorities, from the principal sir, from Vanita ma'am, and all you students. Such a wonderful and a beautiful way to invite somebody and then to honor them with so much of expression. A big thank you for that. And I think this is I think this is the only meeting who took about 8 minutes to do the introduction. You know, people do not spend time in letting the crowd know or the audience know who is coming, where it happens from, who are the people involved in it, and beautifully y'all have done that. So very, very honored to be on a platform like this. So thank you very much once again. All right, so I am going to begin our topic for today, and I got a message on LinkedIn asking me to do a motivational talk with my girls, and I immediately said yes because I remember what my journey was, and somewhere I will share it with you while I am talking on this topic. And as our principal sir mentioned, please be interactive. There will be small actions that I will be asking you. It's a big audience today. We are 100 people, probably more than 100 people. But at the same time, each one of you, your participation matters. Why? One, imagine if this hall was filled with all of you. The energy would have been completely different. But today we are all virtually connected. I can't see you. Yes, you can see me, but I can't see you. I can't hear you. So for me to connect with you is only through the chat. So whenever I ask you a question or I ask you to write down something, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Whether I can read all of it or it doesn't matter, your participation matters. Your energy is coming to me through the chat. So keep my energy high, and I promise to keep yours high too. All right, so I want to begin with this first question or first request. Put in a word that you would like to describe yourself as. Use an adjective for yourself. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Use an adjective for yourself. So I would say humble or beautiful or excited, enthusiastic. Go ahead and put that word in the chat box explaining or putting an adjective for you for yourself. Okay, people, I'm waiting. Come on, girls. It's just one word for yourself. Who's going first? There are 100 women in this meet. Yes, thank you, Hema. Thank you for becoming this leader. Thank you for becoming this first person. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasant, enthusiastic. Hema, I genuinely thank you for being that first person to take this opportunity and not lose it and say what needs to be. Thank you. Humble, favorable, very excited. Fantastic. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep putting it in. Happy. Nice. Fantastic. I want all of you to read what words are coming here because this is all of it who we are. And I want you to remember, go ahead, come on, girls, come on, girls. It's just one word. If we can't do this much, how are we going to rule the world? How are we going to be the entrepreneurs that we want to be? Start here. A goddess, fantastic, calm, boldness, excited, fantastic, creative, powerful. Look at the words that are coming here. Do you even need motivation? Yeah, I think I'm being motivated by you. Enthusiastic. All of you girls who have written down these words, a big salute to you because it takes that first step towards entrepreneurship where you don't, one, you don't look at what the world is going to say when you are expressing or when you're taking actions. And secondly, clarity. If we are clear about ourselves to begin with, that skill is going to be of super importance when it comes to entrepreneurship. So even if you have not written till now, if you are doing the course already, you are on the line of becoming an entrepreneur, of becoming a businesswoman, taking up the business management, you are a department of management. Even if you had not put it up till now, go ahead and put that word, put that adjective down that you want to use for yourself. Positivity, fantastic. Great. And now my second question is going to be, why did you join the MBA course? In brief, okay, in one sentence, just go ahead and write it. Even if it meant my parents asked me to, or that was the only course I could go for after what I've done, or because I was interested in so and so business, or because I saw myself as an entrepreneur, whatever the reason be. What is that reason that you joined this course? Go ahead and put it down there. Take a second to think about it. But these clarity to become an entrepreneur, fantastic. This clarity is going to take you places, girls. And do not hesitate to write whatever comes to you. It may look silly to some, but it can be powerful to someone else. So look for those people, be inspirational to those people who probably are inspired by you today. To break the stereotype, fantastic. Fantastic. Now, this is some line that I have picked up, and I can see myself 11 years down the line of how my journey has been, and a little bit I will share with you. Come on, girls, only two girls have shared. Yes, Soumya and Merlin. Is there anybody else who would like to say, equip myself? Fantastic. Even if it is the same thing that a girl has written before, if that is your reason, write it again. This is not about why do I need to repeat it. No, just write it. Why have you taken this course? All right, just put it down there, girls. Put it down there. Okay, I am expecting a little more replies. Until then, I would want to begin this session with the topic name. I'm telling you again, even after 5 minutes, you can think of the answer, put it down. I am waiting for at least 100 replies from the group of 100 girls. Yes, and if I can't be that, to be independent. Super, super. Look at it coming. All right. So today's topic is entrepreneurship opportunities for women. And this is a motivational talk on these opportunities that you have to become an entrepreneur and to become the woman entrepreneur. I would like to share my slide with you. I'll go ahead and present the file. Just give me a second. Okay, why is it not showing? Because this is open. Okay, let me go back and see if I can present it. Yes. All right. Please put a thumbs up if you can see a file being presented. I can see it here. All right, fantastic. Super. Type yes if you can see the presentation. Just type yes if you can see the presentation. Yes, ma'am. Fantastic. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the yeses are coming faster. Fantastic. Yes, super. Fantastic. All right, great. So today's topic is about entrepreneurship opportunities for women. And even though I go with the title of a sexuality educator, counselor, author, today my title is entrepreneur since 1996. That also makes me sound like, how old am I? Interesting. Okay, so there is a lot of experience when it comes to entrepreneurship, and it all began a very short story. It all began when I wanted, so I did commerce. I'm a commerce graduate, and I did commerce because my father asked me to. The college was very close to my house, and my two cousin brothers, one is older to me and one is of my age, they both had taken admission there. And that was the reason I had to join that college. It was not about the course for me, it was about the college. So that's how I ended up being a commerce student. I think deep down inside, I wanted to do arts because I just found myself to be very creative as a person. But you know, at 15 years, 16 years, I don't think I had that kind of guts or courage or even clarity for that matter, where I could tell my father that this is what I wanted to do. And I ended up being a commerce student. But from there, after finishing 5 years of college, I now started beginning to think of what do I want to do? Now, what is my career going to look like? Now, what is my work going to look like? And being in that creative space, I picked up photography as a topic. I picked up fashion designing as a topic. And I did a couple of other small odd jobs only to come back to my dad. And he finally gave me a warning. He's like, in 6 months, if you do not earn 1 lakh of rupees, you will stop doing everything that you're doing. And I know how that felt. 6 months only. People take so many years to build up a business. I get only 6 months because somewhere I knew he's trying to show me that I can't do it and I should not do it. I'm not speaking ill about my dad, but this is just a fact. It's a story of what happened and how I have learned out of it. So on that day when he said 6 months, I took the challenge any which ways because I wanted to show that I can do it, but I could not. And you know, at the end of 6 months, my father is like, you couldn't do what I asked you to do. So now you will have to stop all of this. But if you do want to do something, you can join me in my business. Now, this was a way of just getting help for him and me staying in front of his eyes. You know, that time, this is almost 25 years back when I was about 20 years of age. Today I'm 45. And that is when he said, you know, just stay in front of me and I will give you work. So that time the new computers had come in, email was there. So he wanted me to do all the admin job. Slowly, I started going to office. And within no time, I think in a year and a half, I was already importing ball bearings. So that is where how I started my journey in 1996 with my father, selling ball bearings, importing and then selling ball bearings. And hence today I use my title as an entrepreneur because there is a series of possibilities that I have experienced and I have allowed myself to experience in this journey of 25 years. So I'm super happy to share this entire session with you to let you know. Just 1 second, for some reason this is not working. Okay, I think there it is. So the slide I have is marriage opportunities for women, because this is what I wanted to actually say. Entrepreneurship opportunities for women is almost like marriage opportunities for women. Now, why do I take this example to speak to you today? Is okay, one, did you think it was funny that I'm using this analogy or this example? Like, how is entrepreneurship equal to marriage? If you thought it was a little weird or funny, just type it in the chat box, like F, just write F for funny, or I mean, you're like, W for weird. Like, I don't understand what is this all about. So go ahead and type an F or a W. Let me also explain, and then probably you can take this, you can understand where I'm coming from. Marriage opportunities for women is all about either you want it, okay, or you need it. Marriage is something like either you want it or you need it. Now, where is this coming from? Because if it is you fall in love with somebody and then it's a love marriage, it's like, I want to get married to this person. There's a deep want to get married to this person, right? So that is where the want comes in. And there is a need to get married to somebody because either you need to be financially taken care of, you need the society, you need to let the society know that you've taken your next step after studies, or the need for parents to send you off finally and feel settled in your life. So either there is a want for marriage or there is a need for marriage. And similarly, there is, so entrepreneurship is like marriage. That is where I kind of like chose to compare the two, because somewhere we do understand marriage very, very easily. And I want you to understand that entrepreneurship is equally easy to understand. So entrepreneurship is also something like that marriage. Either you will want it or you will need it. All right. So when it becomes a want, is because there is something that you want to drive. And when it becomes a need, because there is some void or some empty space that you want to fill. There is pain in your story. So I will share of what I have gone through and how I have been able to call myself an entrepreneur. So that's where, remember this throughout. Is this a want or is this a need? We will be talking about it where you will understand whether it was a want or it's a need. You could also see that it's both, and we will figure out slow and steady of what it could be. Now, let me explain very quickly what entrepreneur means. In this slide, I have written that an entrepreneur is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. Now, this definition is also true for a businessman or a businesswoman. All right. The entrepreneur now is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, or business or procedures. This is just a definition for you to understand who is called an entrepreneur. What is the difference between entrepreneur and businessman? A businessman is pure into goods and services. What do you want? What do I have? I provide it to you, and that's it. Entrepreneurs look into the necessity of what the world needs, comes up with creative ideas, new ideas, and that is the distinction between the two. It's not like opening a probably grocery store and then just doing your business. It's about, okay, I understand what your need is, and I've come up with this, something like a Grofers or a Big Basket. These are the innovators who said that I understand that it's the same need, but now here I have a different idea for you. So that's the only difference. Both of them are businessmen at the end of the day. So that is who an entrepreneur is. Now, who is a woman entrepreneur? A woman entrepreneur is also an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risks and enjoying most of the rewards. She is also commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new ideas for goods, services, businesses, or procedures. The only difference between an entrepreneur and a woman entrepreneur is your gender. That's it. There is nothing that an entrepreneur can do that a woman entrepreneur cannot do. Do you agree with me? Please type in agree in the chat box. Do you agree that you as a woman can do everything that any other entrepreneur can do? Just write agree in the chat box so I know that you're still with me, you agree with this point. How do you feel about it? Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for putting the agree. Go ahead. Please do not think somebody else is putting the replies. I don't need to put in. Your focus in this workshop, your attention, your participation is going to define how you are going to feel, how you are going to be focused into things that you do. Even if it's a business, you know how many bakers do we have in our city, or how many grocery stores we have in our city, or how many stationery stores we have in a city. If everybody thought somebody is already selling, why do I need to sell, they would not be doing what they're doing today, and there won't be an opportunity to probably be better than the others if they've not taken that first step. So please do not wait or think that everybody else is putting, so I don't need to do it. You need to do it any which ways. And these are the little activities which is also preparing you as an entrepreneur. So don't think it is silly. Don't think somebody else is doing. I don't need to do it. You need to sweep the floor till manage your cash box as an entrepreneur. And participating in these small activities is just going to bring out that skill in you, right? Thank you for everybody who's put in agree over here. Now, as I was saying, what is my journey been like? So ball bearing business was something that I started off with my dad. And from there, once I got married, now that was not something I wanted to do, right? It was not my want. It was not my kind of line. It was a hardcore business where I am importing, where I am selling to the middlemen, I'm selling it to big companies. It was pure hardware work. And in a society full of men, this culture, this industry of ball bearings was ruled by Gujarati men in my city. And I was one of those few daughters who was sitting in that industry and working along with the other men, the other sons, the fathers, the uncles, the grandparents, probably grandfathers. That is where I sat and I did my work. Of course it was, so I also was trying to be creative there. I had done a couple of computer courses, computer languages. So I built an inventory for my father. So what I started doing is I started becoming creative there. So creative was in my blood, and even though I was selling ball bearings, I was doing all these side things alongside, where I kept my inspiration, I kept my focus, I kept my interest in the business in this way. So I wrote a program, we created a software. Now that was back then, and my father could see the potential, and he said, go ahead, Niyatii, and do what it needs to, you need to do. So after marriage, I kind of told my father that I won't be continuing with you. I want to do something on my own. That's where I began with, I did a small course in travel and tourism. I joined a company and I did brilliantly well because it gave me space to be creative with packages, with my clients, creating different itineraries for them. And I enjoyed the job. I'm also a very people's person, so I knew my strength. That I could speak to people and I could speak to clients. So it is also very important to know what your strength is. Now, here comes another question. What is your strength? What do you think you are effortlessly amazing at? Something that just comes to you without any effort. Put that one word down or a couple of words down. Tell me what your strength is. Is it that you're fantastic with people? Is it that you break complicated things into simple things? It is to teach. It is what is your strength? Put it down if you can see that this is what my strength is. I'm fantastic at marketing. I'm great with numbers. There you go. She's an enthusiastic worker. Now that enthusiasm is going to reflect in all the work that you're going to do. Sugandhika, right? Fantastic. Thank you, Sugandhika, for putting this in, because it really means a lot, even that one reply. Because this clarity is going to see, once you know what you're good at, how easy that job can become, right? So even if you know now, put that strength down for me, girls. It's very important. Just by knowing certain theories probably will not be the best way to take up entrepreneurship. These small things also is important. All right. Optimistic. There you go. Happiest worker. Fantastic. This, see, look at my smile. Look at my smile when you reply. because this is how we interact. This is how I know what is going on behind the screen and what are you all thinking, right? Thank you for putting it down there. Okay, so I did some odd jobs with the travel and tourism. I worked for two companies, and then I got pregnant with my first child, and I thought that was a project by itself. So, and I had to travel with in my local trains. I'm from Mumbai, so local trains, you must have heard about our local trains. And to reach my destination, which was an hour away, so I took a break and I said, I don't want to work and I want to be there for my child. And I took that as a project for me. And I was learning about children, child development. So my journey for child development began then when I conceived, which was 18 years back. Today, my son is 17 and he's appearing for his JEE. He's already given his two attempts and he makes me proud. So, yes, that is where I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I made a promise to my child that I am going to be that parent who is going to only provide support and love to you. I am going to be that parent. I am going to reply to all your queries. Even if I don't know, I will look for those answers and come back to you. I want you to know that I am your trusted source. I am there for you. And that is where my journey began further ahead when he was about 2.5, 3 years of age. And I was a little comfortable with his growing up, with teaching certain things. I felt very confident of opening up a toy and a book library for other children. So where I was staying, I opened up a book and a toy library, and I did very, very well in that space too. Within a year, I got an offer from my college friend, and he said, Niyati, I have two creative. So mine was a practical, a huge room of 800 square feet where I was running this library. And my college friend came back and said that, Niyati, I have just created a website and it is India's first online toy library. Would you like to join in because you're doing so fantastic with your library? And I took that opportunity and I said, I want to grow. So with a young baby, 3 years of age with me, I was also solely responsible for my home, for my social life, for my parents. But I took that opportunity and I said, I want to do it. And with, of course, support of my family. My child was young to even understand, but he's always seen me work. So that is where, so the physical library was the Blue Frog Library, and the online library was called Khilona Ghar Library. And from there, I worked for about 6 years in that library. At 6 years? No, 5 years. And as soon as I delivered my second child, I had to stop because now I had two children to take care of. I did not have help at home, and it was very difficult for me to be there for the library because that concept was very new. I was way ahead of time. There was no Amazon. There was no online buying. The women who usually chooses the toys and the books for their children had no idea of how to go online and order and register for the library. So we had to be on calls late nights when the fathers would come back home. They would come on a call with us. So the whole day goes into the deliveries and coming back and taking care of the toys and maintaining the inventory. The night used to go almost till 1:30 on calls with our clients so that they can place their orders. So that was not a lifestyle I could have with two children, especially the second one. And I needed to take care of myself physically too. So that is where I had to stop my Kilaunagar. And again, once again, I thought that I just can't finish or I can't sustain myself in some work. And I was very desperate to see how I can take my skills out and be there as an entrepreneur. The business was always on my mind. Now, while my second daughter, I was pregnant with her, and my library was on, there was another opportunity which I stumbled upon, which was called sex education. And as I had promised my older child that I will be there for you, and of course my younger child, that I will be there as a mother and I will be there to empower you and educate you, I realized that I had not spoken anything about sex education. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And suddenly, me too, I had I have experienced a relative inappropriately touching me. And I was wondering in my head, How can I not talk about this to my child? And that's where my journey in sex education began as a mother, to educate myself so that I can educate my child. And then there was no looking back. Then there was no looking back. Now, there are some pictures here that I wanted to show you. So this, my first picture, which is sanitary pad versus tampon, is from a company called Goki. Once I got into sex education, I got a certificate from a doctor who was teaching this small course in Mumbai. And when that certificate came in my hand and called me a trained sexuality educator, sex educator, I just could see the opportunity of me educating other parents like me who probably did not know anything about this. Now, this is where I got my idea of becoming the educator and taking it ahead as a career. I joined companies. I wrote two books. I am an author of two books. If you will see here, there is the pictures are not very clear, but it says When Girls Grow Up and When Boys Grow Up. And the books are behind. So I wrote two books. I trained myself as an international trainer. I went to networking meets. I did podcast. There were some brilliant entrepreneurs who are very, very successful with multi-crore businesses who started calling me because I picked a niche that was not done by anybody else. So this journey of 11 years have been very, very grilling, with two children at home, with taking care of my house. See, sometimes as women, you will understand this, that there are some expectations from the society, from us. Sometimes we do not take care of our own self, our own needs and wants, and we let go and we continue doing what the society expects us to do alongside of what we want to do. But here my need was so strong of taking this topic to each home, to each school, to each parent and child, that I did whatever it took to achieve what I wanted. So I joined Goki as a company. I wrote two books. I got myself trained. I got myself certified into all these different subjects and modalities so that I could be a better counselor and a better educator and a better trainer when it came to topics and when it came to speaking to my parents about a topic which was such a taboo in our country. Sexuality can be very, very complex if you don't break it down to a layman's language. And that is my superpower, that is my strength, that I can make it simple. And that's what I realized, that I can do this and I can be creative in my own way when it came to a topic like this, and I could make it simple for parents and couples to understand. So this picture here, if you see, this is my picture from Khilona, and this is my picture from networking meets. I don't know how many networking meets I must have probably attended. I was on a TEDx platform. I have presented two papers on sexology conferences. These are national conferences with almost 750 sexologists, like doctors, where I presented my papers. I have met brilliant personalities. I have been able to exchange my ideas, have conversations with them. All this I have done in spite of still wanting to be there for my children, because that is what I was teaching other parents. Be the support and love for your child. And I cannot be missing from my home, right? So I remember this as an entrepreneur. What are these things that came to me while I was struggling and trying to achieve what I wanted to achieve? Most of them told me two things very commonly. One was, don't call yourself a sexuality educator, Niyatii. People will not take you seriously. They will think of something else. And the second one was, if you have to go home at 3 o'clock, you will never become an entrepreneur. Because I would reach home before my son came back home. 3 o'clock, like morning 9 to 3 was my working time. At 3, I am home for my children, for my house, for my social life, for my parents, for my husband. No matter what. Any meeting has to happen between 9 and 3 o'clock, I'm back, because I wanted to be there. See this want and the need. I wanted to be back home for my children, so I would do it. I did not hear anybody. I mean, the publishers told me and the businessmen told me, and they all wanted to work, because this topic was not done by anybody else. But at the same time, they kept pushing me down as a woman that you cannot do this. You cannot be a woman who wants to take care of her children and her house and do work. You have to put yourself out there in the line. And I said, no, I will do it this way. I will take care of my children. I know every, I know everything about my children. We have discussions, we talk. Every project is, done together. Every exam is spoken about. Every emotional state of mind is discussed. Everything is in place. So I don't think as a man or a woman for that matter, you cannot manage all that you want to manage. So this is my first thing that I want to tell you. Do not limit yourself as a man or a woman. Do not, because it is not a factor to be limited. You see what you want to do and what you want to achieve and just go get it. A lot of it will come in between. Let me take you ahead. This is where you begin with. A lot of challenges are going to come to you. But this is where you begin with. So the first thing as an MBA student, I would want to ask you this. Again, one more question. Just let me know, is there any product or services that you have thought of that this is the kind of business that you want to do? Put it in the chat box for me. Put it in the chat box for me, quickly. We still are 100 people and I'm still expecting 100 answers. Come on, girls, give me that one product or one service or one, whatever it is, that this is what I want to do in the future. It could be clothes, it could be hair clips, it could be books, it could be machinery, it could be medicines, anything. Engineering equipment, equipped agriculture, fantastic, fantastic. Food, very nice. Oh my, lockdown has taught me one thing, that food is something that's going to be evergreen. Jewels, oh Soumya, I'm going to keep in touch with you. Clothes, fantastic, super. Go ahead. Which is that one industry or that one product you want to be an entrepreneur about, or you want to sell? Even if there is no experience, even if there is no ideas, no plan, but there is this wish that this is what I want to do. Again, as silly as it may sound to somebody, go put it down, ladies, put it down. And if you have not thought of it, okay, if you have not thought of it, you can always reflect back. Now, this picture actually speaks to those who have probably not thought of something. I want to do business, but I don't know what to do. This is one of the very common lines as students and even as women after children, when we want to go back to work. I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And the best thing is to reflect on yourself. Is there any challenge or a problem that I have in my life? I can just turn around and see that those are the similar problems faced by so many people in their lives. So for example, if I have to say food, as somebody said, yes, or jewels or clothes, I love to wear clothes. And sometimes, so my daughter, right? My daughter is 10 years of age and she's growing now. Her puberty has started. And it's so difficult to find her size of clothes, which is neither in the children's section nor in the adult section. You know what I mean. So for me, that is a business idea. Let me create a line of clothes for the adolescent girls because they just don't find it. And the tailors don't understand the new designs that these children want. And where do I get the Western clothes from? So this could be one of the ideas, right? So my daughter also has long hair, okay, long curly hair she has. So combing her hair is a very painful experience for her if I'm removing the knots. So I figured there are products which kind of act as serum. And then there was a comb that I found out, which is called the Tangle Teaser. With that comb, when I comb her hair, the knots come out so easily. And I was like, brilliant. This could be something I can sell. So it can be anything from your own life that you see it as a problem. And when you turn around and look at the world, you will see they too have similar problems. So take that idea and just go with it. It could be 20 combs to start from, and then it could reach to 200, and then it could reach to a bigger number. But begin somewhere. Now, if something has come to you that this is the line I want to go ahead with, Put it down in the chat box. Let me hear you. Let me read what you have to say. Come on, girls. Okay, so you know what? 100 years ago, entrepreneurship was probably just about some money that I have and some skill set that I have. And I did not have the capital, you know, there were no investors. I just have some skills, and that's what I'm going to probably sell. And this is 100 years back that I'm talking about. But today, when we speak, we have 582 plus. This is the data I picked up from 2010. We are almost 10 years later. So maybe about like 1,000,000,000 entrepreneurs. That is not a joke. That is a big number. So if people, you can see the bar, you can see what what says here from 1800 to almost 1950. That's where it's picked up from. So if people are seeing the possibility of entrepreneurship now, it's because there is a possibility, no matter what your gender is. Now, this is something I want you to write down. Oh, there's one more, franchisee for ordered tailoring dresses. Oh, you girls are something that I want to keep in touch with. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Merlin, for writing that. Now, as a woman, do you see entrepreneurship for you? Just write yes or no. Please write yes or no. Do you see entrepreneurship for you? Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur or a businessman, businesswoman? Yes or no? Go for it. I'm waiting for the answers. I'm going to move ahead only after I find answers here. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, yes, yes, awesome. Yes, yes. I still want some more answers. Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. So this is the beginning. So can you take a pen and a paper, or maybe on your phone, on your computer, wherever you are, just write down 3 reasons why do you see entrepreneurship for yourself, and 3 reasons if you think, no, it's not for me. Just 3 reasons. I know I am asking you to write down something. Even if it is one, just write it down. Just write it down that this is my reason for believing that, yes, I am meant for entrepreneurship, or I don't see myself as an entrepreneur. Your idea that you have to work on and take action on, whether you are from a village for that matter, or you are in one of the metro cities, it does not matter. What matters is your willingness to do it. What matters is your skill set. And what matters is that consistency that, yes, I'm going to continue doing what I am doing. Now, whether it was a rural woman or an urban woman, they have achieved and they have been successful. Now, do you know their reasons to become an entrepreneur? What do you think? Write down that one reason a woman can have to become a businesswoman or an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur. What, according to you, could be a reason that a woman picks up entrepreneurship? What can it be? Come on, girls. Come on, be with me. Fantastic. To be self-reliant. What else? What else? Anything, even if it's one word. It could be something like to earn her own money. Self-reliance also comes from there. What else? Self-independence. Fantastic. Fantastic. Go with it. Go with it. Why do you think, or what is a woman getting when she becomes an entrepreneur? What is she getting? Yeah, what is she getting? Come on. Living independently, then good to be independent. All right. Go for it. Go for it. Passion, to follow her passion. Very nice. Confidence. Yes, to be confident also. Being independent. Great. Confidence. Okay. What else is it? So there are some reasons, why they picked up what they are doing. I have a few women quotes that I have picked up for you specifically, just to realize what are these different reasons. Boldness. Yes. Fantastic. She says my mother is a swimmer. She started teaching me how to swim when I was just 2.5 years old, and that's how it all began. Because her mother was a role model to her, probably, and there was so much of probably pushing her or showing her what she could be, making sure that she swam. My mother was a swimmer, and because I started early, I watched her, and that's how I became a national swimmer. So she's also a business entrepreneur who looks into the sports, all right? And she, as a swimmer, also became a businesswoman. So for her, her role model, because she had a role model and that's how she wanted to be, she too became that. Latika Vadva wanted to build something that can make the women folk in India financially independent. So she picked up entrepreneurship to ensure that women became her need was, I want women in India to become financially independent, and that's why I'm doing this. My idea was, I want parents to ensure that they speak about this topic to their children, because in today's times children are on the internet, they have so much of information, nobody is there to guide them. And that is the reason I am doing what I am doing. These ladies, industries running in the villages, but there is a need. What I'm trying to say in my family, and I wanted to be that person to contribute. See, sometimes it's not the world that is inspiring you, sometimes it could be just your family that inspires you to begin with, and then you become an inspiration for others. You don't know what is going to come in your way. So even though most of my workshops are on sex and sexuality and parenting, today when I got the opportunity to speak to you about entrepreneurship, and because I am in that space, people usually don't see me as an entrepreneur, they see me as an educator. But what I am doing back at home is business. I'm selling my books, I'm selling my workshops, I'm creating my workshops, I'm getting in touch with the colleges and schools and making sure that even commercially I'm taken care of. But somewhere the need of to be there for the society helps me to take those bold steps. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. Similarly, these ladies also have a need, and look at the different needs. Entrepreneur just excites her, and the more she does it, the more she loves it. Sometimes there is no particular want or need for others, it's about yourself. It could be any reason why you would want to take up entrepreneurship, and each reason is valid. Each reason is equally important as the other. So, whatever your need is, or whatever your reason is to become this person, and the reason you're doing MBA, I say go ahead with it. Don't stop. So now, if you understand, she's a mountaineer, okay? She's an amputee and she's a mountaineer. And on May 21st, 2013, she reached the Everest peak. She erected the flag of India and deposited some pictures of my idol. That was the happiest moment of my life. So she began her journey as an amputee, but doing something that probably challenged her disability. And she wanted to show herself, she wanted the confidence, she wanted to show the world anybody can do anything. There is nothing that is limiting you. It's all here. It's all here. Do you get it? It's all here. It's your belief that you're working with. If you say, oh, I have 2 children at home and I have no time. Of course you don't have time. Running a house and having children is a 2 full-time jobs. How are you going to have the time? But then you do what needs to be done to ensure that out of those 24 hours, you have 6 hours to do what you want to do. Just do it. There's nothing that is stopping you. Nothing stopped her. Even though she did not have that limb, she still climbed a mountain. What are we sitting down here for? What are we thinking that I can't do it? I don't know what I will do. I don't know if I can do it. I'm doing a post graduation because I want to be educated, but then what? These kind of limiting beliefs will stop you from going ahead, and society somewhere will play their role. So as women, I want you to understand, keeping the woman spirit inside you, think of yourself as that human being who has a want and a need. So, what did they want? What did these women want? They wanted to work on something they loved. They wanted to break the stereotypes. They wanted to ideate. They wanted to lead. They wanted to bring a change. They wanted to gain recognition for themselves. They wanted respect. They wanted social status. They had a role model they wanted to model. They had a vision and they wanted to be economically independent. They had a reason. What do you want, darlings? What is your need? Have you thought of it? The ones who had not written earlier, did you find out what your need is? If yes, put it down. Put it down, even if it is right now. I want to hear it. I want to listen to you. I want to know you better. Go ahead and do it. Now, from here, we also understand that why you must do it. So, as we've been speaking about wants and needs all the time, so your want, your need is the reason why you must get into the entrepreneurship. Now, here, I'm also not saying that leave everything aside and just become an entrepreneur. No, you do what you need to do and you do what you probably want to take care of. As I said, I wanted to be home. I was home and I was taking care of my work. But at the same time, if you want to pick up a job, probably for to make sure that you have the finances you need to be independent, pick up a job first and then simultaneously think of what else you can do. Nothing is stopping you. You will have those 2 hours every day to put into your work. You will have that. So you figure out what you need to do and why you must do it. The why is very, very important and also one of the toughest things to find out. But why is important because if you cannot hold on to the why, every challenge that is going to come to you is going to tell you go back into your comfort zone. All this is not worth it. There's so much of problems, so many people discouraging me. So imagine me as a woman talking about sex and sexuality in a country like India, where there is so much of shame and guilt around it. I don't go propaganding sex and sexuality. I am only in the space to educate and empower. So if something happens with you which shouldn't, then what will you do? So understand who you are, understand your sexuality, understand your personality, understand how your relationship needs to be with your husband, understand how you can educate your child about periods, about wet dreams. This is the space I have picked up. But my why is so strong that when somebody pulls me down, when they say, Niyatii, this is no good, it's not going to earn you any money. And when I see you month after month, probably I'm not earning that kind of the money, my why keeps me in the ground. No, I know there will still be that one mother and that one child who probably will gain something out of me speaking today. So today my why also stands strong that just like me, I hope out of the 100 of you who are sitting in that on the other side of the screen, one of you will think that if she could do it, I can too. I cannot motivate you. Motivation, somebody else motivating you is a myth. You have to motivate yourself. Somebody else can only be an inspiration. You can probably see the possibility that this can happen and then you go with it. Motivation has to come from here, from here. Every morning. And it's not that my family also made it very easy for me. I had my challenges back at home. I had children sometimes saying, I don't want you to go to work. Sometimes my husband saying that you don't have time for me. Sometimes my parents, I lost my dad 8 years ago. My mom saying that you're not there for me, even though I was. There is enough that is going to tell you that you're not doing your job well. But I kept my foot down. I looked at my why. I saw the bigger picture and I said, I'm still going to do it. I understand. I made up for it in different ways, but I did it. So that is the reason you must do it. Just take this up. You're already on the path. You have the opportunity. You are in this space. What's stopping you? India needs you. We all know the need of women entrepreneurs and women business women in India. You know what they say? They say that women are better at taking calculated risks. Women are less likely to be overconfident. We think so many things at the same time. We are more ambitious. We are better at foreseeing in the long run. We are used to fighting it out more and have acquired the resilience. Every time somebody put us down, we know how to get back up again and do the job that we need to. Haven't you cried at home? Haven't you cried for the injustice that is happening to you and all the other women around in our country? Don't we still get up and do what we need to do? Don't we still get up and do what is needed from us? We still do. We do have the resilience. So I don't think there is any reason for you to say that this is not for me. Only 14% of entrepreneurs are in India are women. Only 14% of women entrepreneurs. What is going on? What is going on? Factors that motivate women in India that we were talking about, the reasons why women usually take up entrepreneurship are these. I'm sure you can't read it because it's a little smaller slide. I mean, smaller picture, but need for money for the family, financial independence of herself, building a career for herself, proving my worth. So many women have started working because the after marriage, the home or the house or the people they live with do not treat them with respect. They make them feel worthless. Just to know their own worth, they are out there. Yeah. And for the name and the fame. So multiple reasons, but these are the factors. Now, as a woman, do you see entrepreneurship for yourself? Yes or no? Is there a no? Is there a no? I hope it's a yes. Now, I had asked you to write down something about those reasons. I'm sorry. About those reasons of why do you think entrepreneurship is for you and not for you. Is there anybody who wants to have a talk with me right now, have a chat with me right now about one reason that no, I don't think, Niyatii, even after all that you've spoken or whoever speaks anything, I don't think entrepreneurship is for me. Please take this stage, please take this opportunity and have a word with me. Is there anybody? Yes, just unmute yourself and see if you can talk to me. Anyone? Okay. All right. Is there any belief which is kind of limiting or there is a fear? Let's talk about fears now. Let's talk about fears. I'm super happy to know that there is nobody. Okay. I am going to take your word for it that since you did not say anything here, it is because you think entrepreneurship is for you. Now, what are these fears? What do you think women have? What are these fears a woman has when she thinks of entrepreneurship? Now, on a general basis, I'm asking you, what are these fears you think a woman has when they talk about entrepreneurship? So it could be, I don't know if I can take care of my house. I don't know if I will get the money, or where will I get the capital from, or I don't know how my parents will react. Anything that's coming to your mind. What are those fears that a woman has when she looks at entrepreneurship? Father left me because I'm a girl. How can I overcome the emotional block when I move into a society? So, sweetheart, he left not because you're a girl. He left because he couldn't handle something. He left because he did not have the capabilities. He left for his own reasons. You are a girl that is a blessing on this earth. You are a girl that's a choice probably your soul made. You are a girl and so many other people are proud about it. Some people can't handle it. Some people don't have the capabilities of it. It's their problem. It's their business. Yes, emotionally we feel that a support in our life, a pillar of our life is not present. But sometimes that can become your strength. You probably can stand up for those girls who are probably facing the same problem. You are undergoing through certain challenges, I will say, in your life only to become stronger. There is no other way out of it. Yes, there is another way actually. So there are two things, okay? This also, you know what? I probably will not be able to feel the pain you have, but I probably can empathize, okay? I will never be able to, or I don't want to for that matter, to tell you that, you know what, let it go. I won't tell you that because it's not my business. You will let it go when you will be able to let it go. But there is a reason why probably it is still with you. Now, there are two things out of here. So, the story that comes to my mind is there was a gardener, okay, and that gardener saw caterpillars, and they saw that these, from their cocoons, they were trying to now come out. So this gardener was so happy that these caterpillars are now going to be butterflies, and now in no time, I am going to see the actual cocoon being opening and the butterfly coming out. I am going to witness this. And when the caterpillar was trying to break the cocoon and come out, the gardener felt pity for it and said, okay, let me just open the cocoon up so it's easier for this caterpillar to just come out as a butterfly. Now it's already a butterfly inside. All I need to do is just help it a little bit. I'll open it a little bit, and from there it'll fly. It'll be so easy for it to fly. As soon as the gardener opened the cocoon a little bit, helped that new butterfly to come out into this world, the butterfly did come out, but in no time it died. You know why? Because when this butterfly comes out of its cocoon, there is a process. They have to break that cocoon with the top of their head, okay? And that action is extremely needed for the strength of their head and the development of their head. Because it did not get the action it needed to be strong, it could not survive. You are meant to be somebody big, somebody great, somebody who has the potential to probably lift other people along with her. You are just going through this difficult time to make yourself stronger. Rose is our national flower because it carries thorns along with it. A lotus is also lotus. A lotus is an significance of beauty because it grows in the muck. Anything that has seen the challenges, gone through those challenges, and then bloomed has a different, perspective in life or in the world. And you, my dear darling, are already on that path. Some challenges have come to you. The nature, the universe, God, whoever you believe in, has given you a situation just to see whether you can come out of it or not. So if you come out of this not by holding on to the pain that it has caused you, but using that pain to become this strong woman who now is going to prove to the world, and your father for that matter, that no matter if I was a boy or a girl, I could still do you proud. And I hope somewhere, wherever you are, you can see who I have become. You did not have to leave me. Be that person. And it's not out of anger or out of revenge that you want to show your father or the society. It's just pure out of confidence. That what is wrong with you people? I can be who I want to be. And I can do whatever I want to do. You did not need to have a son to feel pride or to bring you money. I'm doing the same. So with a lot of humility, with a lot of humbleness, with a lot of gratitude to even be born as a complete human being on this earth. Be grateful for these challenges coming your way. Be grateful for the challenges coming your way, because if you don't have challenges, if it's a plain road you have to walk on, it's not going to motivate you to do anything. When there are obstacles, when you are taking care of the obstacles, that is where the rush is, that is where the need is, that is where the want is, that I want to reach that line. So sweetheart, use this as your strength. There is pain. Now, do I want to stay at the rock bottom of the sea, or I've already fallen there and the only way for me now is to come up? And I'm going to use that pain now just to ensure. Now, this could be your strong why. This could be your why. Product could be anything, service could be anything, but your why is that I want to empower more women. I want to empower fathers to see the potential their daughters can have. And that could be your why. Tomorrow, you will be sitting somewhere in a group of 100 people, letting them and sharing your story. How did I come out to be an entrepreneur? So I hope this helps you, and I hope it gives you the strength and it gives you the wings to fly. Okay. So again, coming back now to the slide and finishing the presentation that I wanted today for all of you, what is that fear you think women have when it comes to taking up entrepreneurship? Come on, girls, be nice. I know it's already 1 hour and 41 minutes since we are in this. Just give me 24 minutes and let's crack this for us. Yes? What are the fears? Come on. Fear of capital, fear of what will the society say, fear of what if I fail? What is it? What are these fears? Identifying the fear is as good as knowing in a race where your obstacles are, and how you will be able to jump on it and take care of it. If you can't see the obstacle, then you will not know where to jump and how to take care of it. So please figure out these obstacles that what is it? Do I even have a fear? Do I even have some limiting belief that I can't do it or I won't be able to do it? I don't have the confidence. It could be anything. Because challenges are going to be there. All you need to do was I'm glad that made your day, Merlin. My day is made. My 2 hours of coming here is made. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be able to show you a different perspective. Thank you. Yes. So challenges are going to come. Now, what do you do of that ball of challenge? Do you look at it and say, oh my God, who's going to take care of this? Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, this is so complicated. Or you say, okay, you know what? I just found that loose end. Now let me slowly take this and start rolling it on my hand and creating and, untangling the challenges that I have. That's all it needs. Patience. That's all it needs. Challenges are going to be there. What are you going to do about the challenge is what makes you an entrepreneur. Your want, your need, when that comes together, the magic is created. Your want to let the parents know, my want of wanting the parents to know that you need to do this for your children, with my need to become financially independent. When they both came together, I created magic. I created the magic for myself. 11 years into this career of a topic that people feel so hesitant to talk about. I created that magic, and I know that you can create it too. Yes? There are only two ways, as I said, in the marriage. Either you stay in the marriage and you go through what you need to go through with your partner, or you break up. Or you say, okay, this did not work for me. I'm going to just go somewhere else and look for a different idea. Yes, there will be a little pain for all the time you've spent and the efforts you've taken and the money you've pumped in. But at the same time, you learned what the mistakes you made, what were your failures. And without those failures, let me tell you, sweethearts, it will not work. You need to fail. You need to know it did not go where and what did not go okay, so that only you can rise from there. Yes? So the two ways, and you can pick up either. Either you can continue and fight for it, or you can say, not this, but something else. And both are okay. Both are absolutely okay. What are these advantages? You will earn your money. So exactly of what our need was or want was becomes your advantage. You will earn your money. You will have some spare time to do what you want. You will be your own boss. You can follow your own dreams. You will be financially independent, and you will contribute to the nation. You will contribute to the nation, right? So don't see this as just a business. It's way bigger than just a business. How are you going to keep yourself motivated every day? I remember those nights when I used to tell my husband that I am a failure. I can't do this. I don't know why am I hung up to this topic when nobody wants to hear it. When only 2 and 3 people are signing up for my workshops. I can't do it. I would cry, decided that tomorrow onwards, I am not going to take this up. I cry and I sob and I sleep. only to find myself in the morning, okay, you know what, maybe one parent will get something out of it. Let me write a blog today, let me write an article today, let me just go on social media and share something today, let me just call some parent up today. And that's how I kept myself motivated. Set your goals, set your goals that this is what I want to do today. My goal is, I know that mothers are teaching their daughters about sex education, about periods, about breast growth and everything, but the fathers are not talking to their boys. We mothers also want to talk to our boys, but we don't know how to. So today my goal is, I want to sell 500 books only for boys, to help them understand what is going on with them during puberty before the end of the year. Now that is my goal. Now, when I have set my goal, I know how to go behind it. So I stay motivated every morning. Did I finish these jobs? Am I closer to my goal? I have something to wake up to every morning to say, I'm going to continue doing what I want to do. The stories, the entrepreneurial stories, go listen to people, what they have gone through. You will understand that your journey is far better. I did not have a mentor to look up to. I did not have anybody who took up national conference as a non-medico, as a non-psychology student, as a commerce student, to stand there and talk. But I took stories from people. How did they come up here? How did they do other things? And I applied it to my line. I listen to so many people. My morning begins with all these talks and stories. I water my plants, I sip my coffee, and 1 hour I am only reading and listening to these successful people and what did they do in their line of work and how I can take it in my line of work. Every morning, every morning. Join groups and clubs. I don't know how many networking, I'm a part of. Some I'm very active, some I only go probably week to week. I must have attended nothing less than 70, 80 networking groups only to go and get a feel of what do people think about it. Let me meet one more new person. I remember, my family telling me that, why can't you just talk to people over the phone? Why do you need to go to a networking meet? It has nothing to do with your subject. And they would not understand, why am I just randomly going out and meeting people? But today I have these opportunities, again, so many, because I was, my presentation stopped, okay, only because I took those opportunities, I went into those groups and clubs, and I was present there. So please join these clubs and groups, maintain a healthy routine. If you are not healthy, if you are not taking care of yourself, what are you going to take care of anybody else? So first rule, inspirational books that I read, just so that I'm educated and I have the knowledge of a 360-degree aspect of an entrepreneur. Yes, get a good night's sleep. Sleep is important at the end of the day. Set challenges with your loved ones. Sometimes I tell my daughter, my son, what, give me a challenge and I'll see what I can do about it. Or I say, sometimes just, what, mama, you're going to say 500 books in a year. It's not going to happen. Sell at least 5 books and see. And that's a challenge. Okay, fine. You know what? Thank you for giving me that challenge. Or I'm setting it up. I am giving myself that challenge that 5 books in a day, I'm going to do it. And then I do what it needs to do, and I sell my 5 books. So take up challenges and reward yourself with every small success. I actually have a group where I only share my successes with, even if it is a small success. Even if I am also very interested in gardening. So when I plant a sapling or a cutting and I go and plant it again, it dies first and then the new plant comes out. So even that small success I get, I go and share it with that group, because that group shares success and they make you feel that yes, you are not a failure, because you've done so many things today and which were successful. So that keeps my spirits high. And that's what you need to do. Trust me, girls, as girls and women, there are ample opportunities or situations which is going to pull you down only because of your gender. These are the ways you can keep yourself motivated, you can keep yourself inspired, and you can get up each morning to remember the why you embarked on the journey in the first place, and to continue doing your work with loads of happiness, with a lot of fun, and no stress. Don't take stress, it doesn't help. So these were what I wanted you, or what I wanted to share with you. So taking just another 9 minutes left, I would want to take up some questions if that's a possibility. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity once again, and me sharing the best I could to all of you as women entrepreneurs. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing. Are there any questions for me as a woman entrepreneur? Please put it in the chat, or if ma'am gives me permission, they can unmute and have a chat with me. Any questions for me as a woman entrepreneur?
Students, you can ask questions to ma'am, or you can even clarify your doubts. Just
Okay.
unmute.
Any girl in this group wants to take this mic first and share something? No? Perfect. Then this was a great experience for me. Thank you so much once again. Dr. Vanita, you can take over.
Okay. Over to Shukashini.
Really, thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. We are really blessed, I think so. So only we are happy, we are enjoying the session also. Thank you. Don't stop until you are proud. Let's end this program with a vote of thanks, which will be given by Miss Kalai Sylvie of First MBA, and now I invite her to deliver. Thank you. Over to Kalai Sylvie.
Happy morning, one and all present here. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all dignitaries assembled here. I am very humble and honored to be the one in making the closing remarks and giving vote of thanks. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's program a great success. On behalf of MKCE family, I extend a very heartily gratitude to the chief guest of today's program, Niyatii Shah, Council Member, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mumbai, who blessed us with her presence and took out her valuable time of her busy schedule. Thank you, ma'am. If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed, the vision pulls you. We are thankful to our Honorable Principal, Dr. N. Ramesh Babu sir, for providing these opportunities and being very supportive of any obstacles. Thank you, sir. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. My honorable thanks to HODs of all department of MKCE family. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our entire faculty member of MKCE for attending this program. Thank you all. I would like to express a profound gratitude of our faculty coordinator of this program, Dr. P. Vanita Madam, Associate Professor, Department of Management, who is the well-wisher and creating a platform to us. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not least, Last but not least, I would like to thank all my friends for their cooperation in making this session a successful one. Thank you all. Finally, I leave you by this inspiring quote. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Thank you all.
Ma'am, thanks a lot, ma'am.
It was
And
my
I hope
pleasure. I
I am
genuinely was expecting a few more girls interacting with me, and that is the reason I had left some space in the workshop where there could be a little more challenges and questions. But I hope that I have been able to be instrumental here. And a big thank you, Vanita ma'am,
thanks.
Ramesh sir, and all of you, the MKCE family, for allowing me and giving me this platform.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. We'll call you back another day. We'll have a program in the offline, ma'am.
Sure, sure, ma'am. Thank
Sure,
you.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Students, thank you all. And we'll meet next week, okay?